people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 18 of the Great Story 2 Resolve. Last time, we talked around a bit. We discovered from Gyaradev that basically Duncan Ross was the name of the last tenant who rented out Saseki's room. It was the guy in the photograph. He's dead. We went back to the hospital room, saw Olive Green, because we learned that basically Duncan Ross basically was in a relationship with her, so we basically wanted to get more details about that. We discovered she was trying to get poison, she was trying to end it all, and we stopped her with Sherlock's help. And now, let's examine. Mr. Duncan Ross. Who would have ever thought he was engaged to be married to Mrs. Green?
To lose one's beloved fiancé must be painful enough.
But then Miss Green suffered that awful injury, and outside her fiancé's former lodgings too.
They can be very cruel sometimes.
And the card. It definitely feels as though this card must be relevant. I mean, when we first arrived, Miss Green was standing with it in her hand in what can only be described as a very tense atmosphere.
Yes, it may very well be related to whatever incident Mr. Shamspeare believes was about to happen here. Perhaps we should ask Miss Green about it.
Let's go. Ask about the card. The card.
Neither the sender's name nor address appears to be written on the envelope of this card.
It arrived by post at my home the day before the incident that put me in the hospital here. I have information regarding the death of Mr. Duncan Ross. Come to the Slug and Salad on Briar Road at 5 p.m. on the 17th. Don't tell anybody else about this letter or the meeting. It is a matter of utmost importance. Wait a minute. The 17th of this month? That's the day when you were stabbed on Briar Road.
And 5 p.m.
is precisely the time when the incident occurred. Yes, the Gyarados were planning it. They planned their massive argument and their giant blowout just happened right then and there. The Slug and Salad, yes, a pub on the northern corner of Briar Road. Briar Road, being the street that Mr. Gyarados' house is on.
Does this mean that?
Yes, I'm sure you've guessed. That day when I was struck in the back by the knife, I was actually on my way to the Slug and Salad.
Goodness.
So that's what you were doing on Briar Road that day. I'm sorry I didn't say anything before. I think I really will have to ask you to excuse me now. I told you everything. Yes, I'm very sorry to have to drag up such painful memories for you. No, it's fine.
Miss Green, please promise us you won't try to do anything like that again.
Yes, don't worry. Your detective friend has the bottle now anyways. And besides, I've been stabbed in the back and had a close shave with a bottle of poison. And I'm still here. I think I'm destined to see things through to the end. It might sound a little conceited, but well, that's how all this has made me feel. And my throat is feeling like it's on the verge of dying. Leaving Miss Green and St. Bartholomew's behind, we made our way back to Baker Street with Mr. Sholmes. Well, it would appear we've reached the end of the investigative trail for today. Yes, it's late. And Mr. Naruto, did you discover anything that might be of use to you in court tomorrow? Do you think details about Mr. Shamspeare, Mr. Gyarados' lodgings, the convict Selden? There are many facets to this case, and we're yet to see the heart of it, if you ask me. That's my feeling anyways.
I can't help wonder about the results of the analysis. Into Mr. Natsume's team, you mean? Yes. Will they have found Strixine in it or not?
Well, I fear that either way, it will be hard to escape the grip of our friend, Mr. Reaper.
Oh dear.
Yes, Baroque Van Zieks. But I wish you every success, of course. And though I was late to rise this morning, tomorrow will be a new dawn. I intend to spring from my bed at a crisp hour and attend the trial. A crisp hour of 4 in the afternoon. Yeah, I can just imagine basically, Sherlock is asleep in his bed, and he just gets awoken by Iris. Iris, wake up! Iris, what time? Iris, why are you waking me up so early? It's 4 in the afternoon! Well, that can't be. I set my clock for 4 in the morning. I set my clock for 4 in the morning. This says 4 p.m. Oh, that's what the P stands for. I thought that A stood for at morn. I thought that after morning, and B was post night. That makes no sense, Armsy. You make no sense, Iris.
Mr. Sholmes, you're going to come?
Indeed, whatever happens, I shall be there. Assuming my eyelids cooperate in the morning. Well, I think we've done all we can. All that's left is to remain focused and keep fighting for Mr. Natsume's cause until the very end. London, the world's most prosperous city, home to some 6 million people. But away from the razzle-dazzle, down back alleyways and behind bricked-up windows, the lonely lurk. Soseki-san had battled long and hard with the loneliness during his many months here, and so I felt honor-bound to battle equally hard for my compatriot, to lift the curse that gripped him. As Mr. Sholmes said, tomorrow will be a new dawn for all of us. Okay, bring on the to be continued. To be continued, or not to continue, that is the question. No, I am not saving my progress. I actually got more than 2 hours of sleep. I feel good. I feel rested. 23rd of February, 9:23 a.m., the Old Bailey, Defendant's Antechamber. And now we get this. What is it with everyone getting close-ups in this game? I swear, this is going to be the screenshot for this episode, probably.
This is it then, Mr. Naruto?
Yes, it's time to put an end to this now. To the miserable curse that has been plaguing Mr. Natsume, to everything.
And in my own small way, I shall do everything I can to help you.
I always appreciate your help, Miss Susanoo. Suffering Soseki savagely sidelined! Good morning to you too, Mr. Natsume. Good morning! Good morning, Blanca student, Mr. Naruto Esquire! Listen, you two, Chaiway Avenue is the main player of today's trial isn't here! Why would you do that? Why?
Oh dear, we didn't mean to cause offense, Mr. Natsume. I thought perhaps that because you had your eyes shut so tightly, you were meditating, finding inner calm.
What about this guy is calm? Have you met him, Susanoo? You've seen him? This guy has no chill.
It deemed wrong to disturb you.
I was waiting! What's the matter, Mr. Natsume? You seem different somehow today. Why, naturally, that's because I've attained spiritual enlightenment. The path of nature, you see, is a journey to discover one's own death. Or such like. That's the thought of morning conversation I was hoping for. That's why I had my eyes shut. I missed the signs, I'm afraid. Somehow, you'll have to forgive me.
And you mustn't talk of your path leading you to death, Mr. Natsume.
That was just an example! Oh yes, there it is. Inner calm. The Dalai Lama could learn a thing from you, Soseki. Yeah, just move over, spiritual leaders of the world. Soseki's here to basically show you a thing or two. You barely came to see me at all yesterday. I was sure you'd abandoned me. I returned to our beautiful long-lost homeland.
We've not even been to Great Britain a week yet.
Yes, well, anyways, I intend to set everything straight in court today. I'm determined to uncover the truth. I've actually reached an important decision myself. Oh, what's our decision? I shall fill you in after the trial. All right.
It would seem Mr. Sholmes isn't coming today after all. MZ, you said 4 a.m.
And then Shark is just coming with this.
Oh no, he's comatose again! It's a very clever message, I think. My dear fellows, you must win this battle on your own merits.
It's a very clear message, I think, that he overslept again. The great detective, my arch nemesis. Oh, may he stay away, if you ask me. Defendant, defendant and your legal representative. The trial is about to begin. Make your way into the courtroom immediately. Today, once again, we face the Reaper. And when the Reaper stands for the prosecution, the defendant's fate is sealed. But I don't believe in that legend any more than I believe in Soseki-san's curse. The truth is hidden somewhere, and I won't let it escape me. I have to keep believing in my client and keep fighting to the very end. That's all. (23rd of February, 9:40 a.m.) The Old Bailey courtroom. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is ready. Yes, the defense is ready. Very good. And now I call upon the 6 ladies and gentlemen of the jury, chosen by lot to represent the will of the people in this trial. Are you ready to proceed? Absolutely. Justice will be done. You mark my words.
I feel obliged to say, I feel especially ruthless on days when my hat is sitting just right. Oh, well, I wonder if you could just adjust my hat for me. And please be as ruthless as you like. It makes me pleased. It makes me feel feelings that I am not familiar or comfortable with. These deserve to die, if you ask me, especially gas thieves. I have no sympathy for the man at all.
Look, I tell you this, say again now. I don't die for this. I've got my own problems. My wife, you were rocking me yesterday. I have the scars, I have the dent in my head to prove it. Oh, may the Lord show us all the light here and lead his flock to a righteous verdict again today. Now, Lord Zieks, what can you tell us? The prosecution's report, please, for the court, in relation to the theory expounded by the defense yesterday regarding the defensee. So he does have the results. Yeah, you know things are going to go down when Van Zieks pours the wine out immediately. Before the prosecution delivers the black news about the black tea belonging to the black-hearted in the dark. May I refer to you from my book, Fighting the Rising Sun. Pray, allow me a moment to savor a liquid of a more sanguine hue. In fact, I'll defer to the good detective for the report. Here's to you, Inspector. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. As indicated by the defense, we found a bar of soap just outside the victim's window in the snow. And there was a day of frozen fresh liquid in a little depression in the top of it. Yes, that's the tea. That's what Mr. Natsume brought with him that night. Well, the brains at the yard analyzed it, and yes, you're right, it was tea. And there wasn't a trace of strychnine or any other toxic substance in it.
No poison at all?
In other words, the tea that the defendant brought with him to the victim's room is innocent. It's in the clear. What revelation? As I suspected. This makes it quite clear. The defendant, Mr. Soseki Natsume, is blameless here. Oh, the Nipponese are far from blameless, my Lord Nipponese friend. Need I remind you that you have to quit a guilty man who I had to use my cursed powers to burn in the omnibus? I understand the badassity while his skin charred. My learned friend is jumping to conclusions again, a typical Nipponese reaction. And if we were to judge his head with my calipers and clamps, as per my phrenology expertise, you would see without a shadow of doubt that he has the head of a delinquent. Yes, it's true. No poison was found in the few drops of liquid regarding from the soap on the window ledge. But what logic is that? Would you take a drop from the Thames and conclude that the water in the ocean isn't salty? My word, the water in the ocean is extremely salty, Counsel. Exactly! Unfit for drinking, just as the victim's tea was on the line question. As the court has already heard, it's not the tea I drink. I drink tea that was produced by hard-working Englishmen for hard-working Englishmen, not this Nipponese stuff that is weak. Bitter was the precise word from the lips of Mr. William Shamspeare, whom the prosecution now calls back to the stand. Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's request.
Mr. Shamspeare.
Yes, it sounds like we're going to have another confrontation with our theatrical friend. Bailiff, show Mr. Shamspeare to the stand. Mr. William Shamspeare, the victim of this despicable crime. Oh heaven, oh hell, do you command me to remember? Forsooth, 'twas I, Shamspeare, did have a belly full of the foul fluid given in mine innocence. Yes, but as was revealed in yesterday's proceedings, the witness is not as innocent as we had perhaps first been led to believe. By using bars of soap such as this, he has been stealing gas from the supply company, yes. One may smile and be a villain. Forsooth, 'twas I, Shamspeare, did have a room full of the sweet fueling given. That's right, fellow Joes, don't forget, this man is a rotten thief. I am the guy kept all about the exploits of tiny secret, didn't you? You should have owned up sooner. I could have been selling money that way.
Arrest him, I say. Arrest him at once, and let him feel the sting in my tail. Oh, indeed, by dint of vile and cowardly means have I plotted to further mine own ends. I confess, thou wouldst not pardon my sins, of that I am sure. If you acknowledge your wrongdoing, what exactly are you doing here? Cowards die many times before their deaths, and for cowards such as I, death be well deserved. But would it still be a greater crime passeth unpunished? For lo, the hairy-faced gentleman of farther east than Verona did contrive to poison me. Objection. But there was no poison in the tea found in your room. The police have attested to that. What the defense would assert as an inconsistency will quickly be cleared up by the witness's testimony. Is that not so, Mr. Shamspeare? Verily, my liege, I would most gladly speak.
Very well. Let the witness testify to explain this inconsistency. Tell the court as to why that poison apparently injured your body, though none was found in the tea. Testimony time. The Japanese man did come to my chamber with tea brewed in a pot. 'Twas in my cup alone that the wicked miscreant secretly poured his wicked poison. Whilst feigning this reaction in our debate, ne'er did a drop of his own drink pass his lips. When he departed by and by, I did use the tea that remained in his cup to make my coins of ice. 'Tis no surprise that poison be not found in the tea I did pour into the molds of soap. The poison was slipped into the cup after the tea had been poured. The normal way for poison to be administered, in my experience. Quite. Otherwise, it would be disastrous if the poisoner were to mix up the cups, for instance. But no poison bottle was found at the scene. Because, quite simply, the Nipponese took the bottle back to his own room. The absence of a vessel containing the poison only becomes problematic when considering suicide. I knew that. By now, it should be perfectly clear. A bar or two of cheap soap is wholly insufficient to wash the deep stains of guilt from the accused hand. Ah! Sirs, madams, 'tis true that I, Shamspeare, be a common thief of gas. But, listen here, ladies and gentlemen. I am strong. This staff is like mine groin, large and begilded, wherefore would I lie? Verily, I have no cause, I have naught to lose.
Well, I do declare.
Thank you for your testimony, witness. Counsel, proceed with the cross-examination.
Yes, my lord. Let's do this. This one is actually very easy because we already have the evidence. And it's clear as day. All we have to do, basically, let's present the tea.
Objection.
There we go. I'm actually on fire today. You claim that Mr. Natsume didn't drink a drop of tea on the night in question. But that's impossible. How, Chuck-Kapulik, what is this, ye dark, ye cladded fiend? And CzarThwomp can read not a word of the English of old. The two teacups in the scene, one used by the victim and the other by the defendant, have a clear difference between them. One that represents incontrovertible proof.
Incontrovertible? What difference?
Look at the inside of the cups. Just here, there's clearly a visible ring.
Yes, a tea ring. Commonplace enough. Indeed, such stains occur all too readily when one leaves tea in the cup for a while.
And yet, Mr. Natsume's cup has no such ring.
Good lord, you're right. It's completely clean.
And prithee, sir, what makest thou of it? Exactly what Mr. Natsume told the court yesterday. The Japanese saying he quoted, "Drink
Tea?
while it's hot." That's right, yes. The Jerry Mr. Natsume was true to his usual self that night and drank his tea in no time. If, as you claim in your testimony, he didn't touch a drop of his tea, a ring would have developed on the inside of the cup as well, after the several hours the tea was left standing. But, in short, Mr. Shamspeare, you clearly lied to the court. Get thee to a nunnery!
Objection.
As a rule, I fill my hollow chalice up to 7 times during any one trial. I am like Godot, but with a Victorian flair.
You might want to keep that information to yourself.
Yet on occasion, tedium distracts me and I pour more times than I intended until the bottle is dry.
Your drinking habits are fascinating, but irrelevant.
On the contrary, they illustrate the fickleness of human memory. To William Shamspeare,
Yes, my liege?
though you previously stated that you made the coins of ice and the leftover tea in the accused cup, could it be that you were perhaps mistaken? Could it have been that? Yes. Perhaps there was some tea remaining in the small teapot left at the scene. And the fact that it vanished from your memory until now.
Faith, my liege, thou art a magician, for verily 'tis as though thou hast seen with thine own eyes that night. What? Forsooth, I was mistook. I did plan to use tea from the Japanese fellow's cup, but lo, when I looked, 'twas empty, and thus did I use the dregs that festered in the teapot, as my liege doth suggest.
Objection.
And you were just suddenly remembered that now that you made a mistake before? Are we supposed to believe that?
Objection.
People's memories are imperfect, my learned friend, which is why we rely on evidence instead. But in any case, it makes no difference. The victim's most recent testimony tells us 2 things to note. Firstly, that the poison was put into the victim's teacup only, And secondly, that this spoiled cup was not the source of the insipid ice coins that bewitched this court, and that have turned my trial into a freaking mockery. A kangaroo court is what it is. The prosecution makes a fine summary of the facts. Furthermore, that testimony remains valid and in full support of the established facts. In other words, my cape is not needed. The inconsistency claimed the defense simply does not exist. No!
I don't know who's talking, and I'm not going to do it. Okay. I want bad luck! My lords, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I do solemnly swear, after I did dine at Grubb's Grubbery House that night. Wait, was that ale house or air house? Ale house that night, naught did pass my lips but the black tea given to me by the Japanese, whose back be stupid as the lowest death.
And on what did you dine, sir?
We'll answer that next time. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I hope you come back for the next one. If you'd like to be, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. With that, I'll see you next time. Bye.